from GMS Detroit. I would like to say all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Krakodash, double honors to the elders, apostles of GMS who rule well, Shalom to the whole full left out there. With that being said, I want to get to a quick lesson. And this is concerning Iran and Trump. Trump been bombing the shit out of Iran. Iran been bombing the shit out of United States bases abroad, especially over in the Middle East and whatnot. And it's just been a back and forth and whatnot. You just gotta know that Iran just recently buried the Ayatollah, their leader, and they had the mass funeral, like it was recorded as a world record, as the biggest funeral ever recorded in human history, which was millions and millions of people out there to honor their leader. If Trump was to die, it might be 15 niggas at his funeral. He's so hated, but nevertheless, they people they love their leader because what their leader did. He stood up to the big bag America, man. The big bad Satanist regime America, man. And they stood up to him and they held him at bay. And they've been the only ones thus far who really stood up to America and gave them a run for their money. And so, nevertheless, so this is gonna go to a couple of these TikToks, seeing what's going on with the war right now. Then we hit it with a couple of scripts.
It hit some 140 targets in southern Iran. That is a much more extensive wave of strikes than what we have seen earlier this week. And they used not just drones and fighter aircraft, but also cruise missiles launched from warships in the region. Iran's retaliation also appears much more widespread. We're getting reports of fire, not just in Bahrain and Kuwait, but also in Jordan, in Oman, in the UAE, and in Qatar. And this all comes after the U.S. accused Iran of attacking and disabling another commercial ship in the Strait of Hormuz. A crew member from that ship is still missing. Iran's Revolutionary Guard now says that critical waterway is once again shut. Central Command says it hit some 140 targets in southern Iran. That is a much more extensive wave of strikes than what we have seen earlier this week. And they used not just drones and fighter aircraft, but also cruise missiles launched from warships in the region. Iran's retaliation also appears much more widespread. We're getting reports of fire, not just in Bahrain and Kuwait, but also in Jordan, in Oman, in the UAE, and in Qatar. And this all comes after the U.S. accused Iran of attacking and disabling another commercial ship in the Strait of Hormuz. A crew member from that ship is still missing. Iran's Revolutionary Guard now says that critical waterway is once again shut.
So
Central Command says it hit some 100.
You have it, war games at its finest. It might die down for a minute, then it picks back up. Die down for a minute, it's like teetering. It goes up for a minute, then it don't be nothing happening too much, but then that shit just hit the fan all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? But that's in the scriptures. It say, the Lord will come as a thief in the night. So it's, what I'm saying, it's going, when the thing hit the fan, you ain't really getting no warning. The warning is really, these signs and these events, or these prophecies are your warning and whatnot. And actually, the brothers out here on the highway hedges and making the videos warning you, and lining these events up with the prophecies to let you know, stay ready, keep yourself ready. You know what I'm saying? The time is at hand and whatnot. So I just want to bring out a couple of scripts. And I just already pre. We'll start with Revelations 9 and 12. It says, "One wall has passed, and behold, there come two walls more hereafter." And that one wall is World War III. Woe meaning war. The, that first war was World War One. Who was it? America against um, American and its allies against um, Germany and their allies and whatnot. That was World War One. And so, and the scripture says one war has passed, and that has passed. That was a long time ago. I forgot actually what year it is, but we can look it up. Um, World War One. It was fought from roughly July 28, 1914, to November 11th, 1918. Okay, there we have it right there. Okay. Uh, and it's a small World War One, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict between coalitions, um, between two coalitions, the allies of uh, Entente, how you ever say Entente, and the Central Powers, major um, theaters of war, including Europe and the Middle East, and well as part of Africa and Asia Pacific. One of the deadliest conflicts in history, World War One, a result in an estimated 15 to 22 million deaths, including in mass war crimes against civilians and genocide. The conflict saw um, important developments and weaponry, including the first large-scale use of machine gun, uh, artillery, aircraft, commercial weapons, and tanks, and major factor in deadly Spanish flu pandemic. So there you have it. Um, and these was the it was France, United Kingdom, Russia, Italy, and United States, and Japan's against Germany, Australia, Hungary, Ottoman Empire, Bulgaria, and others. So those are two sides and whatnot. Um, yeah, so America against Germany, basically and whatnot. So did I say that? I know I said. I hope I didn't say Russia. I mean, if I did, it was actually America against Germany. So yeah, those were the two sides and whatnot. And I didn't know it was that many deaths. So yeah, that was the first woe that passed. And next scripture I want to bring out is Revelations 14 and 11. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly." And we know the second woe was um, World War II, and that was America again against Japan. So let's look at the dates of World War II. And World War II took place September 1st, 1939 to September 2nd, 1945. The global conflict originally began in Germany, invaded Poland, and ended with formal um, signing of surrender documents by Japan abroad, the USS Missouri. So yeah, that famous picture of them Japanese signing that picture, signing them papers at the hand of them Edomite generals and whatnot. So okay, so when it pick yeah, okay. World War II or the Second War, the Second War, first September 1939, 2nd September 1945 was a global conflict between two coalitions, the Allies and the Axis powers. Nearly all of the world's countries participated. World War II was the deadliest conflict in history, causing the death of 60 to 75 million people. So I didn't know that. Wow. It said millions died as the result of massacres, starvation, disease, and genocide, including the Holocaust. It says after the Allied victory, Germany, Australia, Japan, Korea um, were occupied. It says in German and Japanese leaders were tried for war crimes. So yeah, so there we have it. And you got the here's the um, so yeah, there you have it. And, you know, this is what actually led to the dropping of the bomb, the nuclear bomb, or the hydrogen bomb. The first nuclear bomb was dropped on Japan and whatnot, and that's what made them sign them damn papers. You know, so nevertheless. And now here we have it. You know, looks what to be World War III about to pop off. You know, and this is what Trump. It's gonna be America, of course, and their allies against. We see Iran, and Iran has allies, and allies had. I mean, Iran had allies such as they have Russia as allies and China as allies, and all those are nuclear powers. I think also North Korea, what I'm saying? All those are nuclear powers willing to help, And this is where Iran is getting a lot of their material from, a lot of their bombs, because they trade off oil. They supply oil to China and Russia. So Russia supplied them with weapons, technology, and China supplying them with technology and weapons also. And this is why they were so good of fending off the United States and whatnot. And they've been planning on this for like maybe the last 20 to 30 years. They've been planning on this. That's why they didn't dug out they got a lot of underground tunnels under there and facilities underground where they hide their weapons at. You know what I'm saying? So they've been doing this for the last, like I say, 30 to 20 years, preparing for this great day of war with America and whatnot. So nevertheless, and they've been trying to also develop the nuclear bomb. And Iran is going to, that's why Trump want to, seize control of Iran, because they don't want them to have a nuclear bomb, because they know Iran will use it against so-called Israel and whatnot. So this is the big old thing that's cultivating. It's like a cake baking in the oven and whatnot, and so we seeing everything, manifest right before our eyes and whatnot. And like I say, we added to the scriptures to warn the flock and whatnot. That's that second woe, the first and second woe, and the first and second woe, and now soon to be this third woe come, which will be the World War III, which will usher in the coming of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah and the Holy Kingdom. And this is what we waiting for. This is what we longing for and whatnot. So let's get a couple of scriptures here. Another scripture. And I want to look up. Let's see. Okay. And this is Joel 3 and 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. It says, assemble yourself and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about till the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. It says, let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I set to judge all the heathen around about. So yeah, it says, put ye the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down for the press is full, the fat overflows, for their wickedness is great. So yeah, this is all cultivating the, speaking of them preparing for war. They like I said, they've been preparing for war for the last 30 years. They've been preparing for war, knowing how to engage the United States and whatnot, them and their allies and whatnot. And Iran has been building these relationships with these other superpowers that have nukes and whatnot, only in their for themselves to try to gain nuclear power also and whatnot. And so yeah, this is just them beating their plowshares into pruning hooks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, they plowshares and pruning hooks into swords and stuff. Using all of the resources they got to make weapons and stuff and whatnot to host this battle and whatnot. So nevertheless, what I do, man. So yeah, these Hey, this is a great time we in. Hey, that's why we out here preaching to the people, saying, "Make no tarry, turn to the Lord." Let's get that scripture. This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, 5 and 7. It says, "Make no tarry to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day." It says, "For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance." So yeah, that's why we out here trying to warn the people, warn the flock. Hey, make no terror, turn to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is the only way you can stand a chance when these things manifest. When World War III manifests. You know what I'm saying? You want to be ready. You don't want to die as a 2/3. You don't want to be left here to be melted. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a seat on that chariot, like we all long for, to have a seat on that chair. You want to be of the elect. You know what I'm saying? We want to give our best. We want to give our all to be to try to be a part of the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all. There's no route. There's no rapture. That's a fake doctrine created by Christianity, created by Edomites. There's no such thing as a rapture. You know what I'm saying? That's what got our people in a chokehold, this damn Christianity, and that's why they are so laxy daisy when it comes to this truth. But then when you get to 2nd Esdras 9, and you read that 2nd Esdras 9, and he said, many will be destroyed, then they will be saved, comparing a wave to a drop of water. And he said, comparing like that wave is the ones that's going to be destroyed, and that drop of water will be saved. Then you say, oh, okay, well, it need to be a Christianity to keep these people away from the actual salvation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be a wave of them that's going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So so Christianity is going to help them fulfill their life as a 2/3. You know what I'm saying? Or keep them slated for destruction. Compared, like I say, still thinking about a wave compared to a drop of water. Not a damn drop of water, but a drop of water, because the drop of water is the ones that save. Drop of water is going to be the elect. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we all want to be in that drop of water. We don't want to be in that wave, and that's why we out here. It's our duty to preach, to teach you, and send you these videos and send you the warnings and whatnot. Get on the highways and hedges and whatnot, and try to reach the people. So we might go through camps, and then you might go through 5 or 6 camps, and maybe not one person walk or stop by, but then you might get that one person to walk up. And that's that person that could be a person that's trying to enter into that drop. You know what I'm saying? But you just see droves of people walking by. They walking by they chance for salvation. Because why? Because that Christianity got them in the chokehold, and they believe in a damn rapture. Some shit something that's not even in the Bible. Now, what the scripture said, if they don't speak according to this word, that's because the light not in them. And that's what they're trying to tell you about their rapture's not even in the Bible. So that's not speaking of the word, warning the people with a rapture, man. It's about the elect. It's only about the elect. And that's why I'm preaching you, trying to wake up the elect. Like, hey, no. And so only the elect is going to get this. Only the elect is going to get this. If you don't get this, you should be very fearful of what's going to happen to you. So nevertheless, I want to bring out one more scripture. Only the elect is going to get this. And it says, I will set Egyptian against it. This is Isaiah 19 and 2. It says, I will set Egyptian, I will set, Isaiah 19, verse 2, starting at verse 2, I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor. He says, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. It says that the Egyptians shall give over into the land. And the Egyptians will I give over unto the hand of the cruel Lord. It says, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord, the Lord of hosts. So just dealing with verse 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptian against Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against their brother, and everyone against their neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And so we see that here in the United States. We see Edomites fighting amongst each other. We see, we see even two-thirds fighting amongst each other daily. You know what I'm saying? We see these people fighting against, all these little scrimmages amongst the different nations and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And we see these down there. Everybody want to get bent out of this thing that happened with the boy who got killed with his 3 Edomite friends and whatnot. This is stirring the beast nest. This actually can cultivate into a race war. You know what I'm saying? So we see this thing happening. You know what I'm saying? We see neighbor about to fight neighbor and whatnot. And this is all prophecy. It's all got to happen before the Lord come, before the righteous kingdom be set before the righteous kingdom come. All these things must happen. So, and we could tie that into like Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying? So it also says in kingdom against kingdom, and that's what we see in these kingdoms. America, Iran, these are kingdoms, and they fighting against each other and whatnot. Only to bring forth the ultimate fight, World War III, and to bring those nukes out. That lake of fire. There's going to ultimately be the cleansing of the earth. The cleansing of Babylon, aka America, the cleansing of so-called Israel over there, and in other parts of the earth also. And what the nukes don't get, the chariots will get. So nevertheless, this is Matthew 24 and 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. And for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the end is not yet, Jake. But hey, that's why and because it's not yet, that give you chance to give you a little room to where you can get your things in order and maybe partake in this truth and bear witness to this truth and receive real salvation, and you maybe stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to bear witness to this truth, though, Jake. You ain't gonna get it with Christianity. You got to bear witness to this truth. You know what I'm saying? This is the truth of the Holy Bible. Christianity is loosely based on the Holy Bible. Loosely based on. They still think that Satan took half the angels down to earth and all that bullshit nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, hey, this truth. This is the truth. So that's why we out here to preach this truth to everybody, and hopefully we can wake the elect up. So with that being said, I hope you found some edification in the video. I'd say all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rikar Kadash, double honest to the elders, apostles, GMS who rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.